Welcome back to Two-Way Radio Center. Today we've got a video of how to connect the ICOM IP110H radio with the IP1100CV controller. If you haven't watched it already, please go check out our other video of how to set up the controller, because you will need to do that before you compare the radio to the controller. So once you are logged into the web interface, you're going to want to go to Network Settings and then click on the IP address tab. You're going to change the default IP address for the controller to a static IP address that matches the company's network scheme. This will often be determined by the company's IT manager. Then you're going to click Apply. You will be asked to reboot the application, click the DHCP server, and set to Disable. This is assuming that the company's network controller or router will be the DHCP server. Note that this choice makes all the other settings in the controller's DHCP screen unnecessary, and then click Apply. Next, we're going to create a tenant number and profile. Go to Tenant Fleet Settings and select a tenant number and give it a text name. This tenant number represents the fleet for the group of radios. Click Apply and then go to Common Settings and select the Profile tab. In Profile List, select a profile number and click Add to create a profile number for your radios. By creating a profile, the administrator can assign various timers, tones, and display characteristics for a group of radios. Once this profile is enabled, radio ID information can be programmed. In Profile Name, enter an identifying name for this profile. In Common Settings Profile ID List, enter the ID list number that the profile will use. Now let's create unit IDs in the web interface. Go to Transceiver Settings and select the Transceiver Registration tab. The Transceiver Registration window is where all radio IDs in the fleet will be entered. Enter the transceiver radio information as shown below. Enter whichever transceiver model that you have, and then click Add. You will do the same for the second radio, so enter the second radio information as follows, again selecting whichever transceiver model you have, and then click Add. Every additional radio you will do the same. Confirm that all radios entered appear under the transceiver entry list. Set up any other transceivers the same way. After adding each radio, verify that they appear in the transceiver setting entry list. Now let's create a talk group. A talk group is a type of calling that allows the radio user to select a talk group on his display and operate on that specific talk group, both transmit and receive, until he physically chooses another talk group on the display to operate on. Click Destination Settings and create a talk group as shown below. For the communication type, you can choose between simplex and full duplex. Click Apply and then repeat these steps for additional talk groups. You can verify the list of talk groups in the list of destination setting entries. Next, we're going to create an ID calling list. The ID list that is downloaded into a specific radio determines what ID's individual group or talk group this radio can call. In a single tenant fleet, it is possible that different radios require different ID lists. The controller allows for multiple ID lists, which can be added to different profiles so that all radios in a fleet don't have to have the same ID or calling list. In order to do this, go to Common Settings and then ID List. In the ID List Common Setting Number field, select 1 for ID List number 1. Scroll down to ID List and choose Select from List to populate the previously entered IDs. Click the desired checkboxes in the Add Type column, or you can select all if that's desired. Click Apply. This list will now show on the display of any radio using ID List 1. If more ID lists are needed, you can repeat the steps and configure more. The ID list created in this procedure can now be added to profiles. Now we are going to program the radios. You are going to need a software to do this, and you can find the link to download it in the description below. Open the software and connect the radio with the charging or programming cable supplied with the radio. Make sure you are following the software's instruction manual while you are doing this. First, click the wireless LAN settings that is on the left side of the screen. Enter the SSID into the SSID field. Note that this SSID must be enabled in the customer's wireless LAN system. Select the desired encryption method out of the supplied choices in the authentication field. This is the encryption level. No other choices are available at this time. Enter the wireless LAN PSK, which is the pre-shared key or password, for the customer's access points in the PSK field. Verify that the DHCP client is set to enable. This will allow the customer's controller to assign IP address to the IP110H radio automatically. Click Provisioning Server Settings and enter your controller's IP address into the IP address field. This setting allows the radios to find the controller on the network. For programming the first radio, enter 1 into the TRX number box for the transceiver number 1. The transceiver number is not the radio ID, but it's actually a reference number pointing to the transceiver number or radio ID in the transceiver setting entry list in the controller programming. Enter the same password that you used to set up the transceiver for the unit ID. This allows the radio to be accepted as an authorized device on the controller. Note that this is not the previously mentioned password for the wireless network system. For the second radio, enter the number 2 into the transceiver number box. Enter the same password that we just used and click Clone and Write to upload the file into the radio. Repeat these steps for any additional radios. After rebooting your IP1100H radios, the controller will download all of the information to the radio and allow it to register. If they do not connect to the network and show setting up or failed, you can redo the previous steps, or you can check out the document that will be posted below that walks you through how to set it up as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we really hope that this was helpful. You can check us out at Two Way Radio Center, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to use coupon code YT for 10% off your entire next order.